Yes, 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 yes. Hi guys, hi birdies. Mwah. Today I really wanted to make a video about what to do when you want to buy a pet owl. So first, a little disclaimer. Please, please, please don't watch my videos and be like, oh my god, that is so cool and it looks so easy. I'm gonna go to a breeder tomorrow and I'm gonna buy myself an owl. Because what will happen is you're gonna go home with your cute little owl, and within the first week your owl will either die, or it won't die, but it will grow up to be a vicious monster that scares the crap out of you and your friends. So in order to avoid that, I'm making this video to show you what you can do in order to accomplish that goal of yours, which is to own a pet owl. I'm not going to talk about the legislation too much because I don't know anything about the legislation in America, Germany, China. I just want to say that in Belgium you don't need any kind of license to own a bird of prey, and an education also isn't mandatory, but believe me, it's necessary. But the law doesn't say you need to follow an education before you can buy an owl. Unfortunately, it should state that, but it doesn't. So yeah, in Belgium you only need a document that comes from CITES. It's in Dutch, of course, because I live in Belgium. And a CITES document is actually a European document of transportation. It allows you to travel with your owl through Europe. That's one document you have to have by law. You also have to have a paper that proves that your owl comes from a breeder and that you didn't pick it from nature, because that's illegal, because they're a protected species. So yeah, that being said, what can you do if you want to buy a pet owl? First of all, you cannot buy a pet owl, you can only buy an owl. And it's up to you to raise it to be a social, lovable, cute, tame bird. The most important thing, I would say, is find yourself a falconer in your region that is willing to give you the proper education. He will not give it to you for free. You will pay at least 700 or maybe even 1,200 euros. But trust me, it will be worth it, and it is necessary. And she just flew away. But I'm just gonna let her do that because she just wants to have some fun in the house, and I think she really deserves that. I'm sorry for my bad English. Anyway, find yourself a falconer in your region that is willing to give you the proper education, because trust me, it is necessary. Lucky just didn't go one day, oh, you know what, if Elke, that's my name by the way, if Elke wants to walk with me in the park, I'm just gonna sit here on this glove like a tame bird. No, I had to teach her that. And it's not that hard, but there's a lot of stuff you need to know. And if you don't know this stuff, things will turn out bad for you and your bird. So try to find yourself a falconer that is willing to guide you after you've had your education. Because as your bird will grow up, you will have these really stupid questions like, oh, she's wiggling with her butt, what does that mean? She's shaking her head, what does that mean? I think there's something wrong. Is there? You really need someone to guide you in the process. Because, you know, the first few months I had Lucky, I called my mentor all the time. I was like, oh my god, she's doing this, is she going to die? And after a few months, you will learn to recognize certain behaviors. You'll get up in the morning, you'll see your owl, and you'll be like, oh, she's really happy today. Or you'll wake up and you see your owl and you'll be like, whoa, she's really pissed off today, she's having a bad day. Because owls have their own character. There are easy owls, there are difficult owls, there are sweet owls. Of course, how you raise them also has a lot to do with how they turn out to be. But an owl has emotions and feelings like a lot of animals out there. And it's really nice to be able to recognize those emotions and those feelings. An owl can also be frustrated, and But it takes a little time before you really recognize those behaviors intuitively. That is the most important step, to find yourself a good falconer that is willing to guide you after you've had the proper education. Then the second thing you should do is find yourself a vet who's specialized in treating birds of prey, because a lot of vets will think or believe that they have the proper knowledge to treat your owl, and they will give it a medicine which works great for cats, but it's gonna end up killing your owl. For example, if your owl has fleas and you go to a regular vet and the vet gives your owl the same medicine he gives to cats, then your owl will end up dead, because the medicine is way too strong and poisonous for your owl. So you really need to find yourself a vet in advance who will be able to treat your owl if something goes wrong. And then, of course, when you're ready to buy your owl, you need to find yourself a good breeder, and yeah, buy your owl, and then make sure you're okay with the paper stuff and all. But I'm not going to talk about that because it's certainly going to be different in Belgium than in America. So really the most important step is to have a proper education so that you are capable to raise your owl to be a good, sociable, tame owl. I'm just going to give you one more example that was really important to get Lucky to be this way. And that was imprinting her. You have to imprint your owl. If you don't do that, you will never be able to create the bond that I have with Lucky. And imprinting means that basically when they're really small, like 5 days old, and they are just beginning to open their eyes, you put them in a big plastic container, and when you go to bed you take them with you, and in the morning when they wake up, the first thing they have to see is you, so that they will start to believe that you are their actual mother, which is of course bullshit because you're not an owl, but you are going to make your owl believe that you are their mother. It's really important. And if you don't have the proper education, you don't know that, and you're just gonna buy an owl and it's just going to sit there and either die or turn out not to be a very sociable and lovable tame owl. So yeah, I have probably forgotten to say a zillion things in this video, so there will probably be another one soon. But no, the most important thing is education. And then a little guidance afterwards to help you and reassure you. And yeah, then it's really fun to have an owl. I will just give you one example of what can happen when you decide to buy an owl without the proper education. And this is a true story. There was this guy in Antwerp, and after Harry Potter came out, he decided to buy 2 snow owls, which are the hardest owls to keep ever. So he was obviously clueless, and so yeah, he bought 2 little small snow owls, and you know, the first 2 years it went really well. But what the guy didn't know was that after 2 years snow owls become pubescent, and then they can become really aggressive if you don't handle them right. And obviously he didn't know anything about birds of prey, so he didn't do what he needed to do to raise them properly, and they became so aggressive that he got so afraid of them that he just locked them up in the bathroom and just left them there until neighbors started complaining, like, we hear screeching like all night, what the fuck is going on there? And the police came and found those 2 really big, because snow owls are huge, they found these 2 really big snow owls locked up in the bathroom, and like the guy had to throw their food at him. Like, it was crazy. That story made the newspaper, and it gives us falconers a really bad name. So what I want to say by telling you this story is, yes, it is possible to keep a bird of prey in a decent manner, but you have to be willing to go through the process of learning about these animals. And just like any animal, there are so many people who own a dog and who know nothing about dogs, and their dogs are miserable. So this counts for horses, owls, dogs, like all animals. So yeah, okay, now I'm just ranting, I think. But I hope you like this video, and please comment down below if you want to see other types of videos with Lucky. I'm open to suggestions. I'm sorry that I'm like looking like this, but Lucky is flying around and she's having fun. It's so cute. Can you hear her? Lucky! 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 You heard? I'm just gonna do one little small thing. And that's the end of that.